Hi, I'm Pete Shima. Thank you for purchasing Panther Productions' video series on Shuai Jiao Chinese wrestling. In these series of tapes, we'll cover all promotional material from white belt level up to the black belt level first degree, which is called ninth dan. You will find all promotional throws and forms, as well as supplemental material, which will aid for street defense, as well as ring-type Shuai Jiao competition fighting. I hope you enjoy them. Let's put on your Shuai Jiao uniforms and begin. Shuai Jiao Chinese warm-up exercises. Number 1, horse stance with waist rotation. We must stay in a low stable stance, making sure that we look directly behind us to ensure suppleness of the waist. Stretching our torso, hands straight up, held together. Now we bend forward and hook both hands, keeping the back straight, making sure the hooks are up. Okay, making sure we don't drop the head. Back up, swinging up, back down. It's imperative to keep the thigh parallel to the ground. Opposite side. Hook, double hooking, straight ahead. Stretching out the thighs, helping the waist become supple. Cat stretch. Making sure we arch the back as a cat would before a stretch. We roll our body in and up, arching the back. Head left, head right, back down, up, in, roll. While turning the head, eyes go left, eyes go right, back, up. Okay, we'll now do a stomach exercise. We lay down straight, hands at the side, and we stretch up with our hands and simultaneously up with our feet. Eep, up, eep, up. And this builds lower back muscles as well as stomach muscles. Okay, this next exercise will help enhance our falling. We sit down from a sitting position, hands touch the back of our thighs. We roll ourselves directly backwards so that the tips of our toes go back over the head and touch the ground. Back. And we come forward. Back. Here, we support our back and point the toes to the sky. We next lower ourselves down slowly, making sure the toes do not touch the ground. Stay 6 to 8 inches off the ground, and we start to walk for stomach exercise. And then crisscross rigorously. Walk, crisscross. Exercise number 6 is simple neck rotation. We rotate the neck in both directions, ensuring suppleness. And it's very important in falling as well as throwing to have a loose neck. Hanging and hooking exercise. Basic stretching from side to side. Lace the fingers together and stretch at the waist. Shoulder exercise. Pull back, loosening the shoulder, stretch. Pull back, stretch. Up, circling the hands, crossing the hands back, and in. Reaching to the heavens stretch. Reach up, palm flat against the sky, touch down to the outside leg, touch 3 times, and back up. Up. Stretching the back and legs. Peacock stretch. Turning the waist to the side, putting the weight into the back leg. We look to the side as well as have shoulders parallel to the side wall. Rotate the waist, weight comes back into the other leg. We do the same thing to the other side. Peacock stretch. Turn, down, diagonal striking. Horse stance, strike. Roll the ball, strike. Roll the ball, strike. Roll, loosening up the waist, strike. Roll. Loosening up front kick. We step out into a bow stance. We keep our weight in the front foot, and we stretch high with the back leg, making sure we don't raise our body height. It's also imperative not to bend the knee of the leg that's being kicked up. Lotus kick, also known as crescent kick. Forward bow stance, hand out, the hand of the back leg. Ensure stability in your forward bow stance, and we pick the leg up, striking. Back, striking. Change sides. This can also be done to a side angle. Hand out. Now I'm going to demonstrate leg hooking. Stand in a position of shoulder width and bring up the foot. We can do sets of 10 on each side to 12, or alternate with jumping. Hooking. Leg coiling. Bring the foot up and in. Coiling is an important move for pivoting and changing our stance in the later movements. Leg hooking. Back leg stretching, bend, put the foot over the other leg, and stretch down. Again, other side. Hands together, leg in balance, down. This simulates a back kick which is used in aiding of our throwing in later tapes. Okay, we entwine the arms. I will do a kick forward, known as marching kick, and Frank will use coiling kick to escape. making sure to coil, turn the waist. Coil, turn the waist. Coil, turn the waist. What we see here demonstrated is the Shuai Jiao position to fall in. Shuai Jiao is quite different than any other falling art. As we can see, there are several key elements as demonstrated in this position. The person curls himself up to make him circular so that there's no resistance in falling. He must land on his side and hip. This is the primary source to absorb the impact. And we must also ensure that our ankles and knees are slightly misaligned. Over once, Frank. Thereby not colliding with each other and causing damage. We also see the protection of the head, fists ensuring, and forearms that the head is quite protected. Over onto the other side. This position is almost fetal in nature and quite different than other styles which open up as they fall. In Shuai Jiao, we curl the body into a ball. It's very important to fall properly forward as well as being able to come out of a flip or over the shoulder throw. So we will start by showing you the proper methods of falling forward. First, we kneel, place our hands in front of us so that we can absorb the impact on the palm of the hand and the bottom part of our arm. We must turn our head to the side, and I'll demonstrate it. Making sure to come up on the toes so that the body doesn't hit. Impact is absorbed this part of the arms and palm. Once again. Once the practitioner masters falling from the kneeling posture, he then does it from a standing posture. One must remember that falling is as important as throwing. It's essential to prevent injury and ensure that the person we're working with is not hurt. Torso rolling is the first exercise we use to build a good falling background. Hands come to the inside of the thighs, the legs remain straight, and we roll backwards, touching the floor with our toes. After the person gets the feel of torso rolling, we do a similar exercise, which now adds turning of the waist. In this exercise, we now bring our hands from our inside of the thighs to the traditional Shuai Jiao falling position for the head. With waist rotation, the Shuai Jiao fall may also be practiced from a squatting position. The Shuai Jiao fall then becomes something that we must deal with motion and movement. So I'll demonstrate it from a standing posture. Stepping forward with the right leg, I would place my left leg down, forming a triangle. And inside the triangle, I'll bring my right hand, dropping the elbow down, making sure it comes inside, making sure it doesn't come to the outside. Here. Once again. And after that, we can do it with steps. Stepping forward 2 or 3 steps and proceeding with the same movement. So we step forward 1, 2, 3, down. After that, a person becomes proficient and feels comfortable in falling. One can take on this high degree difficulty exercise, which incorporates neck surrounding, and it should only be done by the advanced practitioner. And I'll demonstrate that now. Once again. Shuai Jiao also has two-man exercises for falling, and we're about to demonstrate the first position, which is a squatting stationary position for two-man falling. Squat, pull. Hey. Once again, I face off with my partner. We grab each other's forearms. We squat. At this point, we pull each other, pull, and then let go. Shuai Jiao falling methods, of course, are practiced on mats, but they're so absorbing in nature that people have taken falls on concrete, and they don't get hurt if done properly. Okay, that's the stationary method. One more time. Down. Now we have this a method quite similar, a little bit more difficult because instead of squatting, we start from standing. We pull back. One more time. From standing. Once a person masters or becomes comfortable with, takes years to master, when we're comfortable with falling from a stationary position in the two-man exercises, we proceed to motion. And we grab each other again, we squat, and now we hop. Jiao, hopping. Pull. Again, it's important to feel the pull of the opponent. So to give us just a little force backwards, we let go. Fall and cover. Last time. Squatting again, pulling and hopping. The first training posture that we'll show will be stealing step. It's a step of the foot behind the supporting leg. And it's important to keep the back straight, have the foot that's behind the supporting leg on its toe. And stealing step is very important in Shuai Jiao to get around the opponent and pivot ourselves into the proper positioning. So we walk back and forth in this step, or we can simply hold the step, maintaining a good low stability in order to build up leg strength. 1, 2, 1, 2. Posture number 2 is the horse stance. We have a small horse, which is shoulder width, dropping our body weight, maintaining an erect spine, and the weight is distributed 50%, 50%. We also have a wider horse stance, which is basically 2 shoulder widths apart. The weight distribution is maintained 50%, 50%. Again, we must ensure that our spine is erect, head is up, not looking down, and stability in the horse is essential. The basic bow and arrow step is done by stepping out with the foot, trying to bring the thigh down very low. The weight is more towards the front leg, about 70%. We keep the back straight, okay, and foot straight out. This is forward bow stance. On the other side of the body, forward bow step. Hand can be held on waist. Later, of course, hands will be in other training postures. There is a second version of the bow and arrow step, which is really something that's indigenous to Chinese wrestling, and that is the bow and arrow step with a twist. To perform this, we drop our weight into the supporting leg, step out, and turn the toe out slightly. And the big difference occurs when we turn our head to the back and drop the right shoulder so that it is not on line with the left shoulder, look over, and maintain a lowness of stance. This is called forward bow with twist. Opposite side, out, twist. Opposite side, bow step with twist. Our shoulder should be lower, looking to the back. Empty stance is essential in Chinese wrestling. We pivot our supporting leg out at the angle, and we bring our front foot out. The weight is all in the back leg. One must be able to lift the front foot, and this is why it's known as empty stance. And in many of the upcoming postures, you'll see empty stance used in grappling methods. On the other side of the body, empty stance. Again, weight is to the rear leg. The knee is very slightly bent and out in order to catch the opponent. And our back must be erect. 3 planes. Our feet remain together. We sit down in a very, very low position, bringing the hands out and hooking. It's essential to build up strength that we squeeze and open and practice our hooking. We must keep very low, okay? The knee should not go over the front of the toe, and our legs should remain close to parallel to the ground. 3 planes. The lady looks in the mirror. We step forward into a forward bow stance. This forward bow stance, however, is a training stance that requires the heels are on line. Our normal forward bow is slightly opened up. So our heels are on line, one hand to the front and one hand to the back. Looking at the hand and having motion in the back hand as well as the front hand to build up wrist strength. The opposite side of the body, forward bow stance, heel on line with heel, not opened up. Lady looks in the mirror. Kui Xing points at the winner. Kui Xing points at the winner. Rhino watching the moon. Weight is shifted into one leg, in this case our left. We step behind with our right. Notice that there's a triangle made with our feet. I reach up with my right hand, left hand is in the pocket, and I bend down, keeping the leg straight, and I grasp behind my knee of my left leg. I look to the back, over and through my left side. The triangle is here, my eye direction is here, and I hold the knee. There is another version where I go down and grab the ankle. Lohan looks at the moon. Opposite side, form a triangle, up with the hand, down, stretching to the knee, and stretching to the ankle. Li Kuai sharpens the axe is another training posture which requires heel-to-heel alignment. We step out in that type of forward bow stance, and our hands push out at shoulder height, turn, and are brought back into the pocket. The tongue is on the roof of the mouth, since this exercise requires breathing. We exhale through the mouth, inhale through the nose. Next training posture, Lohan looks at the moon, helps develop a stable stance as well as suppleness to our back. We open up into a wide horse position, bring the hands together as if gazing through a opening in our two hands, and arch the back and look at the moon. Grabbing emptiness is a posture which uses the small horse stance. We must maintain strict low posture, and squeezing resembles grabbing an opponent's jacket so that we maintain a grip as we throw him. Grabbing emptiness. Okay, leaning forward to search for the sea is one of our training postures that develops one-leg standing positions. And that's very important in Chinese wrestling. Shuai Jiao requires that you're able to keep balance so that when you use your other foot in throwing a person, that you don't also go down. So one-legged postures are very, very important in Shuai Jiao. The first posture is this. Foot comes up. We lean forward, keeping a straight leg with the back leg as possible, high as possible. Lean forward in search of the sea. One side, lean forward in search of the sea. Side two. Combined lying stance uses a double horse stance, the wide horse stance. However, we must try to maintain a slight toe inward. In combined lying stance, hands are up. We can see that my torso is not erect as in many horse positions, but is slightly forward at the 45. Hands are out, and we squeeze. Combined lying stance. Dull sickle reaping the rice. This stance, weight is to the back leg. The front foot is hooked in so that we may seize the opponent's leg. The right arm surrounds the neck, position called neck surrounding. So as we enter the posture, the supporting foot turns out, and we sweep in a fashion to seize the leg. Opposite side. Supporting the sky. In this position, our supporting leg pivots out slightly to the back, to ensure that we can take a wide stance. And here we step out with the leg in a similar posture to reaping. Dull sickle reaps rice. However, in support the sky, we maintain a lower stance. Our forward hand is straight out, bent very slightly at the elbow so that we don't overly extend. And the other hand is in an overhead open hand block position. Back must be erect, and we must, of course, maintain good stable stance. Stance training is essential to good Shuai Jiao throwing. That's what makes it so fundamental and one of the best, if not the best, throwing art. A black dragon plays in the water is a posture that builds up the one-legged position as well as the ability to grab an opponent after hooking his leg. In black dragon plays in the water, we lift our leg, and as we go forward with two hands grabbing the opponent. Black dragon plays in the water. Okay, it's important in black dragon plays in the water to have the body parallel to the ground as one extends himself. Swallow skims the water, assumes a wide horse stance. We then use double hooking and bend the torso down parallel with the ground. Swallow skims the water. Again, we see that my toes are bent slightly inward. Thank you for watching this series on Shuai Jiao Chinese wrestling. I hope it's been informative and worthwhile. If you're interested in pursuing Shuai Jiao or have any questions or comments, feel free to contact me at the address and phone number shown. Once again, thank you very much for purchasing Panther Production videos on Shuai Jiao Chinese wrestling.